Brodie Campbell is a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. They finally have their future signal caller. Coach Key and the Yellow Jackets continue to cook, and Brodie Campbell is now coming to the flats. We discuss more in this film coming up today on the show. Georgia Tech stays red hot. They hot. They cooking with the fish grease. The fish grease. Yes, sir, man. They get their boy. They get who they wanted. And it's Brodie Campbell. We know they was recruiting another guy from Sevierville, Tennessee, but Brodie's who they wanted all along, right? And it's very interesting because this dude is a stud baseball player as well. Remember, he's committed to the University of Georgia. And it's interesting that Georgia didn't even try to recruit Brodie more than what they have, right? I think they're going to have an OV with a guy on campus this week for 2027 because remember, they don't have a quarterback committed. And you would think a guy that's committed to baseball, man, maybe we should take a chance, take a look at him a little bit more. Was not the case. But if you Georgia Tech, this is how you get it done. Noon is not that far from, obviously, the city of Atlanta, probably about 45, 50 minutes. Traffic probably about an hour. His family can come see him, and he does everything that you need him to do, right? We talked about him being a must-have for this program, right? And the reason is the leadership, right, that he's going to be able to bring to the table. The obsession of wanting to be great, right? The gameship, right? There's some games you're going to see here when we break down a little bit of his huddle, his film. He's going off, right? He's able to place the ball wherever he needs to place it. And if you need him to go toe-to-toe with a top-tier ACC quarterback in the future, or you need him to do everything to run a Georgia Godsey offense or to run an offense for Georgia Tech, he's going to be able to do it, man. He had 500 yards in one game against East Coweta, who they're going to play again this year in week 2 of the season. That's what Brodie did. 4 touchdowns. Got it done. Did what he was supposed to do, right? And now he's officially coming down to the flats. As you guys can see, my graphic I created for him. I think it's it symbolizes everything that's Georgia Tech and Brodie obviously a little bit with his OVs and stuff. And like I say, he's a special talent, special player. And he's going to be able to bring in more guys, right? And if you Georgia Tech, the big thing now going forward is, hey, we need to get Brodie with the right people, right? When I say the right people, like we need to get the right athletes on campus with him, right? Because you got your running backs, right? You know, you got a Tristan Williams, you got obviously a Mooney Gibson, right? Now you gotta build the rest of that offensive line, right? You have Jordan Dillon committed, but you need more guys, right? Is it Kyle L. Johnson, right? Is it Chavez, right? Is it Kyson Mallard? You're gonna have to hit on that if you're Georgia Tech in order to bring that in. And then you need the athletes on the outside, right? Is it Amari Patterson? Is it Jabari Watkins? Is it Marquise Fennell? Is it Jordan Christie? Right? How do you fill out the rest of this team and this roster at the wide receiver spot as well? It's going to be very interesting for this program. But they actually absolutely cooked on defense. 3 to 4 defensive linemen. They got our 4-star blue chip prospects. Now you got to start cooking with fish grease on the offensive side of the ball. Now that you got this stud playing quarterback for you here in the future, right? And it's a crazy story because he was under recruited, had a big season, has had back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons passing, had a career completion percentage a year when he was a sophomore, 66.8%, and last year went off for 25 touchdowns, right? So this is a guy that's continuing to improve his craft, continue to get better and develop. And I think he's a guy mixed into this offense, mixed into the scheme, the system, he can absolutely thrive, right? And the good thing is, if you're Georgia Tech, you always want to bring a quarterback in because you don't know how college football is going to be, right? We've seen even just this past year for Georgia Tech, Haynes King, right? Aaron Philo, Haynes King ran out of eligibility, right? So he's no longer the QB1 anymore. That's supposed to be Aaron Philo's job. He left, right? Hit the portal, went and followed Buster Faulkner down in Florida, right? Then now that opens things up for Georgia Tech when they had to go get Alberto Mendoza because you had Graham Knowles and you had Grady Addison coming back, but that was it, right? So you're going to have to always have about 3 to 4 quarterbacks in your stable. So, for Brodie, he comes into a very good situation where it's probably going to be another quarterback that hits the portal, right? So that's one less quarterback next season that you have to compete with, and then you can come in and you don't have to start day one. You can learn this system and get better. Then by the time it's that sophomore campaign this season, right, and we'll see what everything happens. Hey, you can compete for a job or win a job potentially. And that's what this guy likes to do. He likes to compete. He likes to play at a high level, man. So that's some of the off the field intangible stuff that he brings to the table. We're gonna roll the film and talk about everything that he brings to the table there and why he's really a special prospect. Okay, so let's roll that tape here and break it down. All right, here we go. All right, film breakdown. All right, so let's see. Here's Brodie right here. And it's about 8 minutes of film. We ain't gonna do the whole 8 minutes. We do about 4 to 5 minutes for this. Okay, so love this right over the middle of the field. And what I love is that Brodie already knows how to play with talented players, right? Got John Matthews over there, right? Got a Jalen Britt, right? So he has players that can play at a high level. So right here, you see Brodie, good arm motion right there, and look, boom. Look at him plant that front leg and look at him drive on that football. But it all starts with this part right here, right? The good lower body frame, and look at him drive on that football and place it where it needs to go, right? Right in stride. He don't have to break all Matthews or whoever this receiver is. All he's having to do right here is just put his hands out there, right? So very accurate football deep down the field, right? And this one would be like, nah, that's a little bit dangerous, right? Because it looks like here they're playing that cover two. Right? When look at this, like you got too high way back in the deep of the field, right? So that means against Sequoia, this is the middle of the field. This is the playoff game they ended up losing, right? So if you're Brodie, you're going to have to complete this ball before these two safeties come up. Right, so this is pretty much a layered throw, right? Because if it's too high, this two safeties are gonna probably either pick it off or get it, right? But you see, your receiver has already beaten this guy, so you got to place it right in this area over here before these two safeties come up. Boom! Look at the placement of that throw, right? One more time, I want y'all to see this, right? This receiver over the middle, right? Is basically running like a low post, little inside skinny post, right? And like I said, he has to beat these two guys and also give him enough room where this guy can't catch up. And the ball is perfectly placed right here. Can't place that no better. See? And then the receiver still has room to brace himself, right? And make a move, spin, juke, whatever, and try to score, right? They both collided on him, but great placement right there from Brodie. Same thing. Excellent placement. Look at that. 1, 2, boom. Right? Look at his footwork. Look at his feet. Boom. Look at him come up in the pocket. Okay, I know 96 is beat 66. Boom. Ball's released. I ain't afraid. Look at the damn placement on his ball. Right? Elite placement for Brodie. Boom. Look at this ball. This ball's right here. Right? Obviously, got this outward breaking route. Brodie places it perfectly. See? Look where the ball is, y'all. Then this guy is it's really only the sideline and the receiver in the ball. Right? Defender has no chance in hell on this play. And Brodie places it perfectly only where his receiver can get it. Right here, another deep ball throw against Langston Hughes, right? Now I got a little bit of hand fighting right here, right? Tries to do the double move, hand fighting. He's able to create that separation, right? But again, another one of those later throws because you got to get it over this corner, but now the safety is coming over, right? And look at the placement of the ball, right? Safety is too slow to get there, right? Single high safety, probably going to be cover 3, right? Run that obviously deep route down the field. And look, he tries to come over, but look where Brodie places the ball. Ball is right over here. Elite placement throw yet again. Beating the safety and also beating the cornerback. Right here, there's a nice little outbreaking route, nothing too crazy. In rhythm, you know what I'm saying? Good timing with your receiver, nothing too crazy on that one. Right? A little bit of pressure in his face. Let's see where he places that ball. Right? Every time. Right? And this is why I say this kid is special, you know, and what he's going to be able to bring to the table. Right? See? Pressure's in his face. Right? And if I'm Brodie, I'm like, yo, where am I throwing this football? Right? Because you look at this right here. If the ball's going to go over here, you got hat on a hat, man on a man. Right? Where do I place this football if I'm Brodie? Right? And almost 2 receivers in the same area. Right? What pressure am I face? Brodie still is able to place this ball over here. Look, boom, look at the placement. Right? Outstretched arm of obviously the DB and puts it only where his receiver can get it right here on his back pylon. You can't throw that no better. Right? Another elite throw from Brodie. And that's why I said I don't think he gets the proper, I don't want to say exposure, but the proper ranking. Like I think even 3-star for him is too low. Right? I think this is a 4-star type quarterback. And he's definitely one of the top ones in the state. Right? I'll put him in that conversation with a Kareem Hughley. He ain't been to a state championship yet, but this kid, you guys can see, he's very extremely accurate with the football, great placement. He's in that conversation, I think, for one of the best quarterbacks in the state. Same thing here, nice little post route. Receivers not have to do nothing, right? Receivers just putting his hands out, easy money catch, continue to move the sticks. Right? Boom, right over the middle of the field. Same thing, playoff game against Sequoia right here. See, receiver runs a nice little, they run a nice little action right here. We're trying to obviously isolate the defenders. beats him on the inside, right? And then once again, in stride, right? Brodie makes the job easy because the receiver is never breaking stride, on any of these throws, right? They're in position every single time, right? Same thing right here. Let's see what we're looking at. All right, 1, 2, good feet, plant, drive on the football, right? Every time. Receiver is never breaking stride on any of these throws, right? 1, 2, got a clean pocket. It's probably going to be going down here, looks like. Every time, not having to break stride. I mean, another accurate ball deep down the field, right? So that's what I said. They really cooked on this commitment because this kid is a gamer, right? This is a tough throw, right? But look, this is the part I love. This is why I call him a gamer. Look at him escape that pocket, see it downfield, stay in rhythm, right? And look, this is not an easy throw. You got 2 safeties conversion over the middle, right? You got to throw just enough, but not too much, because if it's too high, that guy can get it. You have to throw that ball kind of like low and layered down to where he can go down there and get it, because 2 safeties are in that vicinity of that throw, right? Same thing here. Another nice grab, right? Another nice throw right over in the middle, being able to break your defender. Same thing here. This nice, obviously, out route throw, nothing crazy. 1, 2, 3 step drop. Boom. Place that ball right over here. Only way receiver can get it. He got all the separation in the world. And boom. Same thing. Accurate ball. Here against Dutchtown. Moving to the left. Pressure's coming. Right? You see, just accuracy, right? Never phased by pressure. Right? Just able to move, right? Not an easy throw because you're moving to your left and you're right-handed quarterback. Right? Moving to your left, having to throw off your foot to the right. Never easy, but strong, accurate throw. Move the sticks. Right? Textbook. Same thing here, right? Not the easiest throw. 1, 2, 3, right? Boom, the ball's released right there, right? Great release. 4th down, as you guys can see. But boom, look at this safety right here. He's conversion. So another throw. Hey, he's beat, but you got to throw it to enough room where your receiver can go up and get it, but also don't get him killed, and also don't throw it too high where it's an interception, right? See, boom, look where the ball's at. Now, he skies for it, but the ball is right here. Perfect placement. So if he gets hit, he's taking the brunt of it in his back, right? Boom, as you guys can see there. And you protect your guy. That's the underrated part about this film that we're seeing today too. Like, he's protecting his guys from those big time hits, right? It can't get hit in the head. If your body's turning, you sign up for the ball, they have to hit you in the back, right? Like, he's protecting his guys. Same thing right over the middle of the field. Another nice accurate throw in traffic. 1, 2 step drop. I couldn't see that one. Let me look at that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Get it out there. Should be over here. Yup. And stride yet again, right? Protect your guys. Same thing, boom. And here's the gamemanship. This is the part I like about this game that's underrated, right? Nothing's open downfield, but I am athletic enough to go make a play, right? So I just use my legs here to move the sticks and obviously gain that 1st down, right? Same thing here. Move it to the right. Good protection. Another nice accurate throw off the run again. And look, like I said, these receivers never break a stride. Like, one of the part I love most about his game is definitely moving off the run and his accuracy and his throw off the run, right? Something that people don't talk about when they talk about Brodie's game, but he obviously has that and has it down pat, right? See, look where the ball is. Boom. Y'all see that ball? Ball is right here, right? Defender is nowhere to be found. Places it on the receiver can get it. And think about this, guys. This is a sideline throw, right? A sideline throw. Okay. So that tells me, most sideline throws is going out of bounds. He sideline throws this in, it's enough room where the receiver can put his foot in the ground, and then obviously now he can break free. You don't always see that with sideline throws, especially with high school athletes, right? So we're seeing that there with Brodie, obviously, on that play that turned into a nice big gain down the field. Right here, clean pocket. Another nice accurate ball, only where your receiver can get it, and obviously allow him to go get it, right? Same thing here, 1, 2, pressure starting to come, right? Stay pocketed and composed. Should be going to this guy right here. Ball you probably want to get a little bit over here, as I said, right? Every single time, right? Never phased, makes the right throws, makes the right reads, and it feels good, right? Nice strong throw, nice cut right there by the receiver, but never having to break stride. Pressure's coming into his face, right? See, guys on him, boom, right? 4 is never having to do anything, right? Nice right over the middle. Those 2 converge. That creates the separation, and then boom, at that point, he's just getting his hands out there. Perfect right here. A little wheel route. Let's see. Let me see if that was an RPO. Yeah, little RPO game action right here. This guy bites on this play, this little flat route right here. Brodie sees it wide open. Smooth throw right there. Obviously, big collision. Scrape it to the right here against Lovejoy. And again, you see the accuracy every time, right? When he's throwing to that right or that left, he's able to put the ball on the money every single time. Okay, let's see. All right, boom, pressure in your face. See what we're looking at here. That is crazy. That's crazy, right? And here he kind of just throws him open, right? Because you see guys is nip and tuck with him. This guy's here too. So the fact that he, I would say had the balls to throw this is crazy, but he throws it where it's over the outstretched hands, which is not easy to do when two guys are in the vicinity. But he has great arm strength where he's able to get the ball and loft it over, obviously, the defenders right there. But that was a ballsy throw. But he brings that to the table. He's not afraid. Same thing here. I mean, every time. See, beat his guy over the middle, great hips right here, and then brought it with a clean pocket. Look at the delivery. Boom, right over the outstretched hands. Defender has no chance. Right. So those are beautiful deep ball down the field as well. So accurate, beautiful deep ball. Great job throwing off the run, composed. Pressure doesn't affect them. And a great ball. Every single time. Let's see. Right here, just got a little inward breaking route. And obviously, great job right there. Hitting him. Okay, it looks like this one we got a little bit of eye candy right here, a little bit of a tunnel. You guys see right here, see? That little bubble right here. You want to get the defender, and then he's going to probably hit this guy over the middle of the field right here. Yep, every time. Receivers is never breaking stride. Pressure's in your face. Step up in the pocket. Like textbook, bro. See? That pressure's right there from 13. He's not phased. Step up, right? Good body frame right here. And it lace it up and throw it right only where John or the receivers can obviously get it. Okay, the same thing here. Pressure's off his face. Now, you don't always want your guy to lean. See, on this one, Brodie's like kind of leaning back. But he has enough arm strength where he's able to still throw an accurate ball to number 3 right here. See? Never break stride. Good accurate throw. Obviously moving the sticks yet again, right? You don't always want to see that from your quarterback, but Brodie's one of those few who probably could get away with it. So same thing here off the run. Pressure's coming up into his face. Let's see where he's going with it. Wow. Another ballsy throw, right? He's going to go up here to this tight end, throwing off the run. Bold throw. If I'm him, I can see it. But see, it's bold because you got this guy here, you got this guy here, right? That's too far inside. That could be a pick, right? But looks like the DB overruns it. See? Overruns it too much, and then Brodie places it actually only where his receiver can get it. Ballsy throw, but I respect it. See that right there? Nice little action right there. Quick. Moving to the right off the run. This one's a little bit hard to see with the scoreboard in the way. Moving off the run. Here comes that pressure. And looks like he throws a nice, accurate sideline ball right there. Same thing. Out quick. Give the ball to your receiver in space and let that boy cook. Oh, love that. Boom. Look at that little. Y'all seen that little shoulder lean right there? And he's going to go deep down the field on this next one. All right, boom. Look at the little shoulder lean. Bomb. Shoulder lean. And then, boom, he gets these guys. Because taking too much of the eye candy, right? 2 guys converge, as you guys can see right here on the wide receiver. And it's going to leave this guy wide open, which should be a seam route down the middle of the field. Yep. As I said, seam route. Not having to break stride. Nice, accurate throw again. And once again, gets them boys into the red zone. All right, pressure's coming, right? And I love this play as well. Right? Here comes that pressure. He needs you to escape, make that play, off the run. Nice, smooth, accurate throw yet again. And here he is scrambling, obviously, to his right. Another solid throw. I mean, accurate every single time. Right? Right here, a little back shoulder throw right there against the defender. Playoff game. We need Brodie to perform at a high level. And you see what he does there. And then love this one right here, right? See if he dropped over as a bad snap. Nah, terrible snap. Doesn't fold right here. Stays poised, excuse me. And look at that. It's a nice little throw off the run. Throws it up. And you trust in your receiver and his ability. And the same thing right here. Nice little seam route. Easy throw. Nice little moon ball. And obviously, still very accurate. The same thing here in the number 4. Over the outstretched hands of the defender. All right. So we'll make this one the last play. Like I said, I ain't going to look the whole 8 minutes. We'll look at about 5 minutes of it. We're about at that point. Same thing right here. Just a nice little inward breaking dig. Pressure's kind of coming. Doesn't matter. Nice, accurate throw, as you guys can see. So, I mean, you guys see the film, man. I mean, the kid can do a whole bunch of different things. I like it. I think he's, like I said, I think he's very talented. He's a gamer. He knows how to get the most out of his teammates. He can throw off the run. He throws an accurate deep ball down the field. I rarely ever seen the receivers having to break stride at all. He's good off the run. he got a lot of different things, a little moxie to him. Not everybody has. So I think the kid is an absolute baller. And I think Georgia Tech's getting an elite player with his commitment. And I think it's going to help them moving forward. And they should be able to, in my humble opinion, close on this 2027 class as a top 25. And as we close out this video with Brodie, let's take a quick look at Georgia Tech commits for this 2027 cycle, currently constructed as it is now. Now, for those that are watching at home, you're going to be like, well, Naj, I know what y'all gonna say. I'm like, well, Naj, why we can't see Brodie on here? Remember, I'm doing this video before. Like, I kind of know where he's already going, so that's why you're not gonna see his name on here. This is prior to him committing. Okay, so I want you guys to see this is what they got, right? And remember, yesterday, Success shut down his recruitment, right? Success Nawabude shut down his recruitment with Georgia Tech. That doesn't mean it's over. Like, more teams are going to go after him because he's 6'7", 245, right? Dude is special. Dude won Rivals MVP, so they're going to have to stay on him with that, but they should be in a good spot for him. Mooney Gibson, 4-star running back, one of the top ones in the state. Braden Gordon, he's another great player. We'll have him on the show here later. He's a great guy at the edge, wide receiver, running back. Dude is just lethal. Malik Lee, is another guy, another blue chipper for them, out of Booker, Sarasota, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, forget the Texas part. Jordan Allen, offensive lineman, from Effingham County, 6'4", 305. You got Tristan Willis, who I talked about earlier from CE King, a guy that was recruiting before with Jimmy Smith, Julian Elzy. That was a big time flip, I think, yesterday. Very underrated in my humble opinion. But the kid is going to come in and he's going to put in a lot of work, looking to get to about 195 before the season begins. Joshua Pettigrew, 6'5", about 6'5", 6'6". Very big, athletic, strong tight end with a whole big time future ahead and the big time mismatch. And then McCarty Harrelson as well as a kicker for them, a 3-star. So, like I said, Brodie, it will be a 3-star. I don't know how much of a marker he will move from number 34, but if they land on some of these guys like a JB, like an Amari Patterson, with a couple of these offensive linemen that are highly rated, I think the team should be just fine. And it should be able to obviously handle business, in my humble opinion, and get to a top 25 class and hopefully a top 5 class in the ACC. But we will find out. But appreciate you guys tuning into the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Tonight, I will have on Braden Gordon to especially talk about his commitment to Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. So tune in tonight at 7 p.m. I will have that for you guys locked and loaded. As we talk to him about his commitment and coming to Georgia Tech and all that good stuff, and talk about his story. So stay tuned for that tonight as well. But as always, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hype up this video, and share with a friend. Till next time, y'all know, as always, peace and love.